Au troisième rang, jouant au premier but numéro 5. In third position, playing first base, number 5, Emily Waltman. Au quatrième, jouant au deuxième but numéro 21, batting fourth, playing second base, number 21, Kennedy Bachman. Au cinquième, jouant au troisième but numéro 3, batting fifth, playing third base, number 3, Maddie Lewis. Au sixième rang, l'arrêt court numéro 15, batting sixth, shortstop number 15, Arizona Richie. Au septième, bonne de droite numéro 8, batting seventh, playing right field, number 8, Amanda Licht. En huitième, joueuse désignée, portant aujourd'hui le numéro 43. Batting 8th, designated player, today wearing number 43, Riley Shub. En neuvième, receveur numéro 41, batting 9th, catcher number 41, Tara Vandewater. Et dans la position flex, lanceur numéro 11, in the flex position, pitcher number 11, Ava Justin. Les substituts, the alternates, numéro 10, number 10, Kaya Glickman. Numéro 7, number 7, Amanda Rodman. Numéro 50, number 50, Morgan Tesser. Numéro 25, number 25, Peyton Gottschall. Numéro 27, number 27, Robin Wampler. Numéro 1, number 1, Ryan Rapp. Numéro 24, number 24, Shayna Glass. Numéro 20, number 20, Sydney Silverstein. Numéro 33, number 33, Anna Berger. Numéro 28, number 28, Mandy Schwartz. Team Israel. Voici l'équipe locale pour ce match. Here's the home team for this game. Team Italy. Frappe en première, l'arrêt court numéro 19. Batting first, playing shortstop number 19, Marta Gasparotto. Au deuxième rang, jouant au deuxième but numéro 3. Batting second, playing second base, number 3, Alessandra Rotondo. En troisième, receveur numéro 20, batting third, catcher number 20, Erika Piancastelli. En quatrième, la joueuse désignée numéro 32, batting fourth, designated player number 32, Mackenzie Barbara. En cinquième, jouant au premier but numéro 8, batting fifth, playing first base, number 8, Andrea Firer. Au sixième rang, jouant au troisième but numéro 14, batting sixth, playing third base, number 14, Giulia Longhi. En septième, voiture de gauche numéro 21, batting seventh, playing left field, number 21, Laura Vigna. En huitième, voiture de centre numéro 27, batting 8, playing center field, number 27, Julia Koutsoyanopoulos. Et frappe en neuvième, voiture de droite numéro 4, batting 9, right field, number 4, Fabrizia Marone. Dans la position flex, lanceur numéro 5, in the flex position, pitching number 5, Alexia Zacatena. Les substituts, the alternates, numéro 7, number 7, Ilaria Cacciamani. Numéro 10, number 10, Anita Bartoli. Numéro 16, number 16, Alice Nicolini. Numéro 24, number 24, Cristina Toyodo. Numéro 15, number 15, Elisa Cecchetti. Numéro 23, number 23, Melanie Sheldon. Team Italy. Les arbitres pour ce match, the umpires de this game. Au marbre, à home plate, Randy Homer. Au premier but, at first base, Adam McAloney. Au deuxième but, at second base, James English. Au troisième but, at third base, Annie Michaud. Mesdames et messieurs, veuillez maintenant vous lever si vous en êtes capable de retirer chapeaux et casquettes pour l'interprétation des hymnes nationaux d'Israël et de l'Italie. Ladies and gentlemen, please now rise. If you are able, remove your hats and caps for the national anthems of Israel and Italy. aux deux équipes et bon match. Best of luck to both teams. Have a great game.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day number 3 of softball's Canada Cup. And in this morning's matchup, we have 0-2 Team Italy taking on one of the surprise groups so far in this 8-team competition, Team Israel. And Israel with an upset last night. Final game of the day, they downed Team Mexico in an excellent contest by a count of 2-1 to improve their record to 2-2. And here they are already playing their 5th game. My name is Peter Loubardias, alongside former Italian national team shortstop Amanda Fama, who's been kind enough to make her way up from her home in California. And your former team could really use a win.
Yeah, Team Italy had a tough first game against Japan, and then a tough game last night, but I think they're going to come back and do well. We'll see Team Italy here against Israel, but again, Israel has been doing really well themselves, so it'll be a good game, and I'm excited to be here with you at the Canada Cup. Great day for softball.
Yeah, we've been very lucky in that respect. Weather has been great and only expected to get better. Eliana Gottlieb leads things off, and she has been very impressive in this tournament. Starting pitcher for Italy is Alexia Lacatina. Does have an appearance in the tournament. Pitched 3 innings so far. And those 3 innings were 3 tough innings against Team Japan. Gottlieb fouls it down the line. Gottlieb so far in the tournament is 4 for 11, batting .364. Does have a double and a run batted in. 2 strikes facing Alexia Lacatina, and a good spoil pitch at 0-2. Wind again, blowing out. Gottlieb, filler, a little juggle, but steps on the bag and records the game's first out. Ruby Salzman coming off a marvelous night. As she had 3 hits in the game, including a key run batted in late. And see if she carries on with the momentum from one night ago. Quick turnaround. Played the 8:30 game last night and playing the first game of the day today for Team Israel. Filler a diving try over at first, but couldn't quite get to it in foul territory. Salzman, 4 for 13 with a double and that key RBI, and 3 of those 4 hits came in last night's win over Team Mexico. Mexico now at 1-1, and Amanda, the schedule for me is a little interesting when you consider that Israel is playing their 5th game this morning. They only have 2 round-robin games left, with a round-robin portion coming to a close on Friday, while Italy is only playing its 3rd game. They've had 1 game a day. That will change. There's a good swing again by Salzman playing in left field.
Yeah, Peter, the schedule is interesting. Obviously, my eyes go to Team Italy's schedule first, seeing that they did play only 1 game a day. Sometimes that can be good, sometimes that can be bad. Israel, as we've seen, their momentum's grown.
Longy, the excellent third base player. Juggled, but lots of time, and she has such a strong arm to retire Ruby Salzman. Emily Voltman is the batter. Israel got off to a great start last night with 3 consecutive hits against Mexico in the bottom of the first, and then executed a perfect suicide squeeze to take the game's first run. It was a terrific game, and they won it with a big hit in the 6th. Tough play for Rotondo, and that's got to be a base hit. Did everything she could. Off the fist of the bat from Voltman. Rotondo got to it just atop the pitcher's circle, and good scoring. That is a hit for Emily Voltman.
That's a real tough play. For her to be able to get across her stomach, almost her belt, and throw that is a tough play to complete.
This is well hit. Katsoyanopoulos in perfect position. So Israel swinging it pretty well again, but Lakatina and Team Italy coming to bat, looking to score first on day 3 of the Canada Cup. Team Italy coming to bat, and they will face Ava Justman. Justman has appeared in 2 games, and interestingly enough, Ava's pitched 2 2/3 innings before giving way. In the 5 and a third she has pitched, given up just 1 run on 4 hits, has 5 strikeouts, and has walked 1. And Ava has really put forth 2 solid outings. Israel almost has a rotation going, which, Amanda, is more popular now, I find, than it ever has been in the past. Now, it depends on the team and the situation and the pitching staff.
Yeah, rotation is becoming more popular just to give those breaks to pitchers. You can see Justman has just about 73 pitches. Kind of a lot for her given the amount of innings she's played, but it all depends on the player, how they're feeling that day, and like you said, the opponent and what their schedule has. They're a little later in their schedule. So, yeah, the rotation should be fine, and I think she'll do well today.
Facing Marta Gasparotto. Marta, a high fly ball. This is going to be tough to track, but not tough enough. That's a fine play to get to that ball out in foul territory for Amanda Licht.
Great hustle. That's a long way to run. A lot of time to think. Am I going to dive? Am I going to give up? She stuck with it. Huge out getting Gasparotto out. Lead out of the inning.
Marta swung it very well in a 7-4 loss to Canada. And that's the thing to note. Yes, Italy is 0-2, but who were the first 2 opponents? Japan and then Canada. 2 of 3 unbeaten teams after 2 days of the round robin. The other is Triple Crown Colorado. And in our next game, a premier matchup. It's Triple Crown Colorado. They have 7 pitchers here. 7. And there's a lot of good ones. Rotondo drops down a beautiful bunt and a strong throw by Tara Vandewater, who's just a youngster. She will play at Oklahoma State next season.
Excellent job of the catcher fielding it with her bare hand. We've talked about it a few times this week already. Fielding it with her bare hand saved time, and that time made the out. Rotondo's quick. Great play by the catcher.
Tara Vandewater was in the game last night and looks like she has a bright future on her way to one of the top NCAA programs in the United States. That's Oklahoma State. And yes, all the attention goes to the 3-time reigning champions from Oklahoma. But Oklahoma State is a premier destination. I'd say maybe one of the top 10 programs in the NCAA Division I schools program. And the batter is the dangerous Erica Piancastelli, who we have found in right field in the first 2 games, but she will be, and we've watched, has already been the starting catcher. A mile high. Amanda Licht says, I'll take care of it. And Ava Justman with another good beginning to a game in the pitcher's circle. 1-2-3 goes down Italy. Looking for the game's first run on day 3 of the Canada Cup. Alexia Lakatina back to work. Top of the second inning. She did give up a hit in the top of the first. It was a infield single to Emily Wildman. Maddie Lewis to start things for Team Israel, who have already played 4 times and have been a surprise story, I would suggest. They were 4-5 at last summer's European Championship in Spain. Lakatina delivers strike 1. You get to start to know the tendencies of the umpires and how they call balls and strikes after doing as many games as we have so far this week in the rotation of the umpires. And that took a bite out of Maddie Lewis. So she is aboard, hit by a pitch. And Israel has the leadoff batter aboard to start the top of the second. Lewis is having a fine tournament. 4 for 7 so far officially. As Arizona Ritchie, the shortstop for Team Israel, steps in. Squares around a bunt, but the pitch really in tight, and was quite fortunate, actually, the 22-year-old from Stafford, Virginia, who transferred from the University of Virginia to George Washington, where her father coaches the men's baseball team and is also part of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Trying to punch it by Filler, will make the out at second. Strong throw by 30-year-old veteran Andrea Filler. You want to make sure you get the lead runner if you're going to go in that direction, and she executed it well, Amanda.
She did. That's a great play. Good idea going towards second. I'm not sure if the option of a double play was there, but sometimes a higher throw can lead to a double play, but Arizona Ritchie running, she's speed, so just 1 out's the only thing there.
So Ritchie, the attempted sacrifice does not work out well. And brings to the plate Amanda Licht, playing in right field, and that one just rolled off Lakatina's hands. That would make the blooper reel.
That would.
We have not seen one of those this week. We've seen a lot of things.
And you know what? I think she's done that a few times that I can recall, actually. Not sure if it's a specific pitch, but...
Base hit. Israel's going to score the game's first run. Looked to be a little interference as Lick tried to make her way around first. Was going to end up at second and does get there. Amanda Licht with an RBI double, and Israel's on the board.
Yeah, that's tough. With Filler in the base path, unfortunately, it's just them rounding the base there. That's a tough call. Sometimes that interference call gets called more when the first baseman's on the corner of the base. And Filler was back enough just in the running path of the hitter.
Amanda Licht has her second hit of this Canada Cup and her second run batted in. It is a double. And this surprising Israel team, made up of American-born players with Jewish heritage, and they have been very impressive this week.
They have been. I think each game we're seeing them grow and grow, and they're competing better each game. And a lot of these girls, that's what they hope for. Playing with Team Israel is to help build them up, and we've seen that in the last 3 days even.
Riley Shub is the batter. She hails from Sherman Oaks, California. Just completed her first year at Yale University. So you know one thing about Riley Shub. She's excellent in the classroom. You do not get into an Ivy League school, no matter how good you are athletically, without meeting the proper academic criteria. Only played in 4 games. Swing and a miss. And the first strikeout of the game for Alexia Lakatina. As the rise swung on and missed is Vandewater, the impressive young Israel catcher. Made a terrific defensive play on a bunt attempt by Alessandra Rotondo in Italy's first at-bat this morning. And fouls that away. For some of these countries, what excites me is I always like it when more and more countries become closer to being elite as far as world competition is concerned. And I see some building blocks here for Israel, and one of them is at home plate.
I completely agree with you. Being able to face Israel the last couple of years, there's been a huge, huge change in them, and they're getting better each time that I face them. And now seeing them from the other side and learning these players, it's great to see them grow and have the passion to continue to grow. And again, with Tara at home, having a good at-bat here against Alexia, she's definitely a player that's going to continue to help this Israel team grow.
And we've seen her a couple of times. One of the real keys is, can you find an elite level pitcher? And Vandewater to center field, but Julia Katsoyanopoulos ranges over to make the play. Israel on an RBI double by Amanda Licht lead Italy 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the second in the first game of the day at the Canada Cup. Lindsay Barbara, the designated player, and she hit a home run last night, if you missed it, in the game against Canada off 16-year-old Morgan Reimer that cleared the tent in right field and was still going up as it went over top of the tent. In the last couple of years at the Canada Cup, it's, if not the longest home run I've seen, and longest in this ballpark, including the World Cup qualifier, the Olympic qualifier in 2019 that was also played here. There's two that stick out. A Jocelyn Allo blow last year for Team USA. She never met a home run she didn't like. She hit one last year in a game that cleared the left field home run fence and the big fence in behind it into the trees. And I don't know if it cleared that fence on the Barbara shot, but it looked like it had a chance. This is some trouble, but Eliana Gottlieb calls off Arizona Richie and retires Mackenzie Barbara.
You can see Barbara's reaction. She's upset she missed that ball. And we're seeing that kind of throughout the tournament, barely missing pitches and popping up. I don't think Barbara's new to those big home runs, but lots of pop-ups, and I'm sure she's in the dugout getting ready for her next at-bat.
No, Mackenzie had a great year at San Diego State University where she hit 13 of them and drove in 45. She has one homer here and a couple of runs batted in as gives way to the 30-year-old Andrea Filler. Filler, during her collegiate career, was a superstar at Northwestern. In her 4 years for the Wildcats, she drove in 159 runs and has been starring even this year for Athletes Unlimited in their program, and there is a reason why. And it is gone. A line shot. And Andrea Filler has homered for Italy to tie the game at 1, and they're an excited bunch as they get that run right back. Went with the outside pitch, and that barely got more than 10 feet in the air at any point. And Filler, who has plenty of pop, talked about those 159 collegiate runs batted in. Well, she's added one here at the Canada Cup.
Not being biased, but Team Italy has a lot of power. They have a lot of returning Olympic roster athletes. A lot of them have that home run potential, including Giulia Longhi up to bat now. So I would like to see more home runs out of Team Italy. You have Barbara showed us one like you talked about earlier last night. Filler with hers. A lot of home run potential in the lineup.
Yeah, this is a very talented Italian team. Have become one of softball's premier countries. Thanks in no short part by the woman sitting beside me all week, who was an Olympian herself 2 summers ago and played even last year through injuries at the European Championship. One of 3 World Cup stage qualifiers is also going on right now over in Ireland, where Great Britain, behind the pitching of Georgina Corrick, has now beaten 2 terrific opponents as she shut out Chinese Taipei earlier today. And Great Britain just might find one of those 8 spots.
I wouldn't be surprised either. When we played them in 2019, we played them in the finals for the Olympic qualifier, and they put up a tough fight. And they were still in their building stage, I would say. So post-COVID, they've definitely improved, and we can see that with Georgina leading them in the circle.
University of South Florida star pitcher Giulia Longhi, so far in the event, is 2 for 6. Batting .333. The Italian captain and quality third base player. As Filler has tied the game on her first run batted in and first home run. Longhi to right, but Licht barely had to take a step. And there are 2 away. And important for Justman to come right back for Israel to get an out after giving up the home run. And Laura Vigna returns to the lineup. She did not participate. I was quite surprised in the game against Canada because she has always performed so well in the last couple of international meetings between Canada and Italy, but was not in her customary left field spot last night. And she supplies a lot of pop to this Italian lineup as well. Laura is 0 for 4 so far here in her first appearance at the Canada Cup. And Amanda, you mentioned on the drive in to the ballpark today that this is a tournament that your former team has always kind of wanted to be available for.
Yeah, every year it was something we were looking forward to see if we would have the funding to be able to make it out here. And then with COVID, of course, in Tokyo, but I know in 2016, 17, the team was here, and for them to be back here, they're excited. They're excited to be here to play softball. We talked yesterday about the weather limiting athletes in different countries to be able to play, and that happens in Italy a little bit. So I know they're excited to make a trip out here, perform, get some more practice in at the elite level before heading to that group staging back at home for them in a couple weeks.
Well, this is a marvelous tune-up. I can't think of a better way to get ready. And I know this is a tournament with its terrific president and Greg Tim, always with the vision of how do you make it better and bigger. And it's been spectacular for more years than I can even remember. But do not be surprised if they can find a way with all the different qualifying events now on the WBSC calendar that this event doesn't become an absolute staple for all the best teams.
Teams would enjoy that. They like to have something to look forward to instead of those cups or those world championships. They like to practice. International teams don't get together as often as fans may think. So to be able to come out to Canada and practice and perform.
Vandewater throwing out Laura Vigna, and did it by a considerable margin. Look at the release. She's just 18 years old. From her knees. Hello, Tara Vandewater. You're going in the old memory bank coming out of this event. It's 1-1 after 2 in South Surrey. Top of the Israel order, and Eliana Gottlieb. Against New Jersey's Alexia Lakatina. And a base hit again for Gottlieb, who continues her fine play at the plate here in South Surrey, British Columbia. Gottlieb now with 5 hits in the tournament. Saltzman. This is becoming a dangerous Team Israel.
And what I'd like to point out about their offense is they've got their lead hitter on, and they've had timely hittings, and that's important, Peter, in a game. Is when you have runners on second or third and less than 1 or 2 outs, are you able to produce that run? And unfortunately, Team Italy has always struggled with timely hittings, and we see Israel throughout the tournament getting better at that. I think that is a huge part in their success, is being able to put the ball in play when they need to.
And last night it was a perfect example. They're in a 1-1 game and get a key hit in the 5th. Lakatina thought about going to third and almost ended up allowing Emily Voltman to make her way to first base, but recovered just in the nick of time as Gottlieb, who has great speed, makes her way to third base with 2 down. Kennedy Buckman in the number 4 spot. She plays at second. And Lakatina from Stanhope, New Jersey, who just completed her college season at the University of Kentucky, where she was 11-7. Pitched in the World Games, pitched at the Olympics. So she's, despite her age, been a fixture. And Filler hauls it in, and Lakatina able to get out of not a big jam, but maybe just a mini one, like the one on our drive every day from the hotel to the ballpark. A good one brewing here this morning. It's 1-1. Israel, Italy at the Canada Cup. Julia Kitsoyanopoulos will start the batting parade for Italy. She was at the plate when Laura Vigna was gunned down by Tara Vandewater to end the bottom of the second. Kitsoyanopoulos, a star at the University of Tennessee. And if Peyton Gottschall enters this game, she would face a former, or not former, but current volunteer teammate. A team that went deep into the College World Series in Oklahoma City is Ava Justman. First 2 outings, 2 2/3. And I am very curious to see if that trend continues. And remember, in their opening game, and this is drilled by Kitsoyanopoulos, and Italy has the leadoff batter aboard as Kitsoyanopoulos, who can swing it, drives it with authority into left. Her second hit of the Canada Cup for Julia Kitsoyanopoulos.
I think could be a big one here, too, with Fabrizia up to bat. If they bunt, yes, good job. Move that runner over.
And a throwaway. Fabrizia Maroni possesses terrific speed and dropped down a gem of a bunt. she might have been safe regardless. In fact, I would score it a base hit. And then the error as a result of the throw from third. And Italy coming right back, pressuring. And the change is made, but this time it's only 2.
There's that saying, speed kills, and with Fabri, that's exactly what happened there. Putting the pressure on with her speed, resulting in a bad throw, and Julia able to move on over to third. Good situation here for Marta to rack up some RBIs.
And she is having a good week, and we'll get a pitching change. This is the veteran of this staff. You would have faced Robin Wampler many times in your career, Amanda. At last year's European Championships, she pitched 34 1/3 and comes in a very similar spot again. Was the case last night, just came 2 outs later in the big Israel win over Mexico by a score of 2-1. Wampler, 23 years of age, from Berkeley, California.
Very cool, shortstop number 19, Marta Gasparotto.
Marta Gasparotto. She flew out to right field in the bottom of the first and has a chance to give Italy its first lead, and does. Just fair down the line. Here comes the speedy Maroney, and Italy has its first lead at the Canada Cup on a 2-run double by Marta Gasparotto.
And she does a great job. Inside pitch, being aggressive on the first pitch, getting it down the line, giving the opportunity for Fabri to score, and putting Italy ahead here.
And still no one out. And this is exactly what Team Italy required. Gave up the first run today, but received an Andrea Filler homer as Wampler's change of pace well outside. And they come right back with 2 more. This is an excellent team. You do not qualify for the Olympics. They won the 2021 European Championship. Didn't go quite as well, I don't think, as they would have liked last summer in Spain. Is Europe as a continent becoming far more competitive in this sport?
Absolutely, Peter. I'd love to see it. Team Holland really putting their name back on the board.
And the Netherlands were a participant in this event last year. They are participating in an upcoming qualifier. Believe they are in the tournament in Spain, the second of 3 World Cup qualifiers, with the actual used to be World Championship, now World Cup of softball, will be staged in Italy, where Italy, Canada, and Japan, all here, will participate in the third and final qualifier in a couple of weeks. So I know in the case of Team Canada, talking to a couple of their officials last night, Piancastelli is the batter. Runners at first and third, change up, just foul. I know Canada will play this tournament. They'll take Monday, I'm going to guess, Amanda, to do a lot of laundry.
I think laundry's been a problem, I've heard, in the hotelers. Everyone's getting dirty out here, diving. We've seen some great plays. Laundry's always a problem.
Spend some time with their family, because there are a lot of Team Canada players from right here in this area in British Columbia. And then they'll make their way overseas to Italy to get ready for that World Cup stage qualifier.
This would be a great opportunity for some timely hitting. Piancastelli been a little off. popping up, she can level that out a little bit. I'd like to see one of those monster Piancastelli home runs that we've seen in the past.
Yeah, 1 for 7 in the tournament, but I'm not sure that does her justice. She has made a lot of long and hard hit outs. Change up, see ya.
There it is. Does that beat your last one?
No. But that was launched. And you see the youngsters have a souvenir well out there. Her first, and you knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. You could feel it. Hit a changeup and crushed it. Did Piancastelli.
That's what makes Erica. You can see she sits on that changeup. I know she's been working on sitting on changeups, and she's done great. Great job sitting on that, driving it over the fence, left field, giving her team an even bigger lead. Piancastelli clutching up, timely hitting. Great job, Erica.
So Erica Piancastelli, her mother played for Italy in this sport in the 2000 Olympics. And Italy was back in 2021, supposed to be played in front of huge crowds in softball-loving Japan. Instead, COVID created an opportunity that was less than ideal, but still memorable and still very important for the game. And I know that the two people calling this game are very hopeful that women's softball makes its way back to the calendar in 2028 in Los Angeles, where I've been told that a facility is actually the issue with security and everything that goes hand in hand. That seemed odd to me, but it does make some sense. You're caught in between. You're in the middle of the Major League Baseball season, so those types of parks are not available to you in terms of having the right attendance. And then there are some just glorious ballparks in California. As Amanda knows all too well, the high chopper tracked down, and Mackenzie Barbara just beats out the throw from Kennedy Buckman.
That's a great athletic play by Buckman at second. That ball up the middle, it's got that bounce. She extends and plants off her back foot. An off-balance throw, not in time. Barbara is athletic and made her way down the line pretty quick.
We'll have a pinch runner for Mackenzie Barbara out of San Diego State, where she had a terrific year. A youngster, Anita Bartoli, comes in. Makes me think of pasta. Maybe a little olive oil. Some tomatoes.
Don't even talk pasta. I'm having pasta withdrawals.
I wonder why. If you ever get a chance to make your way to that country of Italy, you will not go hungry.
Next year would be a great year.
It sure would.
Check out the World Cup.
Filler, who started the attack with a home run in the last inning to tie the game, this time flies out to Eliana Gottlieb in center for the first out. And Italy, 6 consecutive hits before the out recorded, including an absolute blast off the bat of Erica Piancastelli. Longi. Bartoli on her way to third. A long throw and a good one, but it's offline from Amanda Licht. And Italy has their hitting shoes on today. Julia Longi goes the other way with an outside pitch and drives that to right. The 6th hit, according to the scoreboard, not 7th, as Rotondo apparently reached on an error. That was a chopper a little up the middle. And Robin Wampler, it has not been easy since replacing Ava Justman, the starter. And that is what this Italian team is very capable of. They have one game where I would suggest they might not be the favorite the rest of the way, and that would be Triple Crown Colorado. But that is a chance to be a great game, as does our next. Between Triple Crown Colorado, Dave King's excellent program where he brings a fantastic college all-star team to this tournament.
I think that's something really special to be able to do that and to play international athletes and Olympians.
Vigna, the squeeze, but this time the out is made as Wampler comes home to Vandewater. And there are two down. So Laura Vigna unable to squeeze home pinch runner Anita Bartoli. And now the pitching change. And isn't this interesting? Peyton Gottschall coming off a fine season at the University of Tennessee. Which Italian batter does she face first? Her Tennessee teammate, Julia Katsoyanopoulos. And those are always fun and unique little stories. Seen some big hugs this week between players who now play for other countries, but on the same group in club ball or collegiate ball.
Again, that just shows how small the huge world of softball is, and it's meaningful, I know, for both of these girls. As you mentioned, hugging each other earlier. It's special, and then once this blue calls the game to go ahead and proceed, each one of these girls is going to be pushing to beat the other so they can be smack talking a little bit later. But that's all the fun that comes with playing a teammate.
Well, Peyton just concluded what was her first year at Tennessee. She transferred in the portal. An impressive 16-2. Struck out 130 and walked 22. She was the 2022 MAC Conference Pitcher of the Year at her previous school before moving to Tennessee. She was at Bowling Green prior to that. And I think in the circle you are looking at Israel's future in the most key position in this sport.
I agree. We talk about how important having a good pitching staff is, and I think we're seeing it here. I think she's going to do well. Do you think Julia up to bat has the upper hand being a catcher, knowing the pitches a little bit?
I guess we'll find out. She had a good swing and cut at her Tennessee teammates offering a rise ball. 2-2, 2 outs. Italy has broken it open with 5 in the bottom of the third to lead it 6-1 as they attempt to move into the win column. The inside drop, and Katsoyanopoulos, who started this 5-run third with a single, as Italy has batted around in the bottom of the third. Gottschall against Katsoyanopoulos. Usually they're working together. And Katsoyanopoulos wins the battle. She sends it out of the yard.
You can tell each pitch to that at bat, Julia was learning and improving and adjusting each time, fouled a few off. I was just going to say she also has that home run power like many of the Team Italy hitters do, and she does a great job here. Bit of a low pitch. Does well with her hands, getting the barrel out and putting that ball over the fence.
So Julia Katsoyanopoulos, 2 hits in this inning, a single and a 3-run home run to right center. And now it's completely blown open. And Israel scored first today. Is Gottschall. I bet they'll look at one another and Katsoyanopoulos will go, gotcha. But you made a great point. It became even more interesting because of the position that Katsoyanopoulos. That's pitcher to catcher. That's not just teammate against teammate. And that's a different twist, too.
Right, she's seen that ball. She knows the spin. I think she has a little bit of advantage there, but still, it's a tough. Gottschall's a tough pitcher to hit against, and Julia won that battle. I'm sure they'll have more throughout their international career. But to see how Gottschall comes back is going to be important here if she can get this third out.
The batter is Fabrizia Maroni. Singled and scored earlier in the inning. Seven hits, and there's been 1 Israel error. Robin Wampler, unfortunately, only able to come in and record 1 out. Those are tough on a pitcher's earned run average. This will be a tough play, but well executed because of Maroni's speed. Strong throw. And a good one. Across the diamond by Maddie Lewis. And the inning is finally over. But not before Italy scored 7 times. Couple of big home runs from Piancastelli and Katsoyanopoulos. And Italy more. Maddie Lewis is Israel in a large hole after giving up 8 in the bottom of the third. It was 1-1, and they scored first. Lewis, hard hit, Gasparotto, quick release. It's an interesting transfer to watch. She does almost flip it
It's funny you say that, Peter. I've been trying to get her out of that for the last couple years, but she's a good athlete. She's got that strong arm, and it is like a flip. You're right.
Alexia Lakatina had a long wait. She's given up just 2 hits and has an out in the top of the 4th. And Arizona Ritchie has the 3rd hit. And she singles to left. Another young player. So what I'm really getting excited about, Amanda, as the week goes on, and it's my favorite thing about sports, is to watch I love international sports. It's my true passion. And to watch the young athletes, and I'm already thinking about different countries and who's going to progress, and I can't wait to see the development over, even between this event leading hopefully, obviously into the World Cup, World Championship next year, but hopefully into an Olympics. Because a lot of players here, that's the formation, and especially for countries like Israel and Greece. And so there is interesting to me is, the regular powerhouses, because I know Japan and the United States are going to have stacked rosters.
Right. It's great to see, even from the players' side, as when I was playing a year or two, that makes a difference for these young athletes and the experience, and they are taking these opportunities to learn and get better. So like you said, in 5 years, if there is a 2028 LA Games for softball, that's a long time to improve. And as we've mentioned a few times the last couple days, women athletes get better later, like in their late 20s. And so it'll be a great thing to see these young girls really excel throughout the next couple years. Excuse me.
A strikeout for Lakatina. That is her second of the game by my count. Riley Shub in the lineup. Very nice of Team Israel to come up and indicate on the lineup card that there were a couple of uniform changes. I'm always very appreciative. This is playable for Filler, who stumbled around a little bit on her way to the ball, but made the play. And Italy well on their way to earning win number 1 at the Canada Cup. Italy, 8-run bottom of the 3rd, and now in a position to close it out with a run differential in the top of the 5th. And don't be surprised if they have an opportunity the way they're swinging it today as we've gone from morning to afternoon. Gasparotto, a 2-run RBI double, kick-started that 8-run third inning. Is the shortstop and leadoff batter. I don't think there's been a lot of smiles with Team Italy since they arrived, but there are now. Winning seems to help a lot of things. And this is a team that will be heard from before this week is over.
Yeah, they just need some time to get their momentum going. Again, they've only had one game a day. Few at-bats to really get their groove going. So they've had some good contact here to get them going for the rest of the week.
Gasparotto, after that hit, an extra base hit, and she has another one as she flares it into right field. So she's 2 for 3 with a double and 2 runs batted in. And those are hits 2 and 3 of the tournament, and now up to 3 runs batted in. As she punches one off of the number 3 as far as entering the game pitcher. Tennessee's, as far as school. Peyton Gottschall, who I think is the future of this pitching staff. You don't pitch for that program and go 16-2 if you are not elite. Rotondo, Arizona Richie, and a dive back by Gasparotto to prevent a double play as Rotondo lines out to Arizona Richie for out number 1. And here comes Erica Piancastelli, who sat on a Robin Wampler changeup in the last inning and almost hit it to White Rock, which is, we're right on the border of Surrey. And I think this park actually, though, Amanda, might technically be in White Rock. I'll have to double check that. And Israel's head coach comes out. They have a chat with her battery. And if she remains in that position with Team Israel, she'll be having a lot of chats with those two. Look at Vandewater. It's the first time I've seen her without her mask, where I could see her face, and just shows that you can tell she's only 18, but doesn't play like it. Made an incredible throw to take a potential stolen base away. Just underneath it, and a diving catch. Ruby Salzman with a diving catch to take a hit away from Erica Piancastelli, the star hitter of Team Italy's lineup. Been a fixture in the Athletes Unlimited program. Had a terrific college career, an Olympian, an elite player here in Surrey is Erica Piancastelli.
Trying to see if that ball came out a little bit, but Salzman does a great job getting a hold of it quick, making a great play. We've seen a lot of bloopers and great plays made. That's a good one.
Well, Mackenzie Barbara. I would have liked to have had a tape measure on hers and then Piancastelli's today. This is gone. Maybe. Not quite. A line shot, and Salzman busy and effective in left for Israel. They need a couple of runs to at least extend the game. Italy, right now, has enough runs to end it with 3 more outs. We'll see if they do when we continue from Softball City. (9-1) Italy with an 0-2 record today against 2-2 Israel. Israel will only have 2 games remaining when this game comes to a conclusion. And Tara Vandewater, the young budding star, I believe, delivers a base hit.
Israel's done a great job getting their leadoff hitter on. Tara does a great job pulling that ball and getting on. See if they can come through with one. Keep the game going.
Oklahoma State, you have a find in Tara Vandewater. And I am starting to wonder, and I need some more research. I got a little tip last night about one of the Israel players is back-to-back hits. They're not ready for this stand early. They require 2 runs in the inning to extend the game. If you are up in international, and not just international, but lots of major softball events by 7 or more after the other team has a chance to bat 5 times and the game comes to an end. And we've seen, frankly, a number of those here this week. But back-to-back hits by Vandewater. And the second hit of the day from center fielder Eliana Gottlieb is Salzman, who made a great defensive play in the last half inning to take a base hit away from Piancastelli, fouls it down the third base side.
It's important for Israel to stay composed here, and a big ball can change the game, but also little hits like this can.
That can change things. An error and a run, and still no one out.
Good job capitalizing on that catching error at second, getting that run across. Smart decision to go to second, though, from the shortstop. If she charges that ball, maybe there's some contact with the runner, which would result in an out. But no play at third, go to second is the right call. Hard to hang onto the ball when you got a runner sliding into you with some cleats that we saw, unfortunately, happening to Melanie Sheldon in their first game.
Well, I saw a woman on her camera last night, and I'm sure she is right in front of us. And I was told it was 3-time U.S. Olympian Leah O'Brien Amico. And you are not here wearing an Italy shirt and supporting that team. My guess is, and I was told, the problem was it was late, got a nice note. I was on the air by myself. So I know that's her. And what I am wondering, and the note was written, I just couldn't read it. It was too dark. I'm wondering if Tara Vandewater might be her daughter, but I'm going to get to the bottom of it, and maybe before this broadcast is even over. A stellar career, 3-time Olympian. Played in 1996, 2000, and 2004. Well, you can share if you know the story, because I think you have figured out where the connection comes from. And yes, she was a star at the University of Arizona as well.
And now on staff with Team Italy?
Not on staff. I think she's a parent, potentially, of one of the girls. But I haven't been able to track it down, but we will. These are the conversations that should be off the air, not on. As it is fouled away by Emily Voltman. 9-2, nobody out. If Italy can record 3 outs before Israel scores one more run, popped in the air. Longy will record the first out of the inning. And Lakatina has gone the whole way in the circle for Italy. And with the graduation of Greta Cicchetti, there is no question Italy has a great lineup. Do they have the next pitcher to keep them in a top 6, be in medal contention in major competitions? That, to me, is as honest as I can be about watching this team go to work.
And that's true. That's what's happening with a lot of Olympic teams. They're losing their star pitcher. Greta really held this team together. One of the best, probably the best pitcher to come from Italy and to ever be at Italy. She's an amazing athlete, and we see her continuing to play overseas in Japan. Will there be another pitcher that can take her spot? No, but someone that can lead this team? Yes, but it's going to be difficult because there's so many young up-and-coming athletes. But a lot of teams in a similar situation.
Two down. Gottlieb, who had her second hit earlier in the inning, 60 feet away from extending the game. A big one next at 2. 3-0 Canada. 2-0 Triple Crown Colorado.
That's a great view of the game. Good bird's eye view. Finally got the drone out there.
Yeah, the drone was a little stuck earlier. This should end it. Longy calls off Lakatina, and Italy is in the win column. 8 runs in the bottom of the third that included 2 home runs, courtesy of Erica Piancastelli and Julia Katsoyanopoulos. And Italy in the win column. They're 1-2. Israel falls to 2-3, but continue, I think, to impress.
I agree. A few more games for both teams. Interesting to see how it plays out.
And we'll take a break. Italy 9, Israel 2. Triple Crown, Colorado and Canada at 2 o'clock. I can't wait, and hope you'll join us as we say so long for now from Softball City in South Surrey, British Columbia.
Our next game is scheduled for 2 p.m., so in an hour and 10 minutes. And we'll feature Team Canada and TC Colorado.
I don't know. I'm going to find out, though, and I'm going to find out right frickin' now.
Do you think it's an Italian game or a...
No, it's definitely because her husband came up last night and wrote me a note to say that's who that is.
But it's a Israel?
Yes. And I meant to look it up last night. I will not be surprised if it's Vandewater. Maybe she is just part of the program. That she's their head coach of the women's. Maybe she's just a coach. Because I don't see anything coming out. I just assume. Yeah, no, we might be on the same page. Thank goodness. Yeah. Your faith was shallow? I don't care. You didn't hit it shallow. Know that. She was on that 2002 team.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com. Live it on Softball Premier.
It's just too bad I couldn't read that bloody note. And then forgot.
What did it say?
All I could see was that that's who that was. So I knew the name, and he had a couple of notes, but as you know, when it gets dark in here, I can't see. And he came up like right while I was on the air, so it wasn't even in between innings.
Helpful.
So I didn't have a chance to like take in the information.